Hello, friends. I hope all of you are fine and fit. Today, we are going to share some useful information on the chapter 4 of Human Settlements of class 12 Geography. Friends, in the previous meeting, we had discussed about rural settlements in India. Now, today, we'll discuss about urban settlements of our country. Cities are generally compact and larger in size in comparison to villages. Here, people are mainly engaged in non-agricultural, economic and administrative activities. As we know, urban centers are functionally connected with rural settlements located around them. Therefore, exchange of goods and services is a common practice here. It is regularly done through a series of market towns and wholesale mandis. As a matter of fact, cities are linked directly as well as indirectly with the villages and also with each other. To avoid any kind of ambiguity, we must share that the Census of India 1991 defines the term urban settlement. It says all places which have number 1, municipality or corporation, Kent or Cantonment Board or any other notified town area committee. Number 2, places which have minimum population of 5,000 persons. Number 3, places at least 75% of male workers are engaged in non-agricultural activities. Number 4, places with population density of at least 400 persons per square kilometer. All these are referred as urban areas. To understand the evolution of towns and cities, we can go back to the time when, at the time of Indus Valley civilization, towns like Harappa and Mohenjo-daro were in existence. On the basis of their evolution in different periods, Indian towns may be classified as urban, medieval and modern towns. We have a number of towns having historical background which were evolved around 2000 years ago. These are the examples of ancient towns. Most of them developed as religious and cultural centers. Few examples are Varanasi, Prayag or Allahabad, Patliputra or Patna, and Madurai, etc. Friends, when you look for medieval towns, you will find that they have their roots in the medieval period. They were developed as headquarters or capitals of principalities and kingdoms. We can take few examples: Delhi, Jaipur, Hyderabad, Lucknow and Agra. Many of them were fort towns also. Then came modern towns, developed during colonial period by the British and other Europeans. Initially, they were developed as trading ports at coastal locations like Surat, Daman, Goa, Pondicherry, etc. Then 3 principal nodal centers were built in British style as Bombay or Mumbai, Madras or Chennai and Calcutta or Kolkata. After independence, a large number of towns developed as administrative headquarters or capital cities like Gandhinagar, Bhubaneswar, Chandigarh, Dispur, Bhopal, etc. Industrial centers also were developed, for example, Durgapur, Bhilai, etc. All these are the examples of modern towns. Dear friends, the level of urbanization in our country can be seen in several facts. In the beginning of 21st century, percentage of urban population in India was approximately 28. We can see the table. It is clearly evident that urban population has grown rapidly. In fact, enlargement of urban centers, emergence of new towns, and development of planned cities have contributed towards the growth of urban population and process of urbanization in our country. Census of India classifies urban centers into 6 categories or 6 classes as shown in the table. Urban centers with population of more than 1 lakh are classified as a city or class 1 town. In these class 1 towns, approximately 170 to 180 million people are living, which is more than half of the total urban population of our country. Cities with population between 1 million to 50 million are referred as metropolitan cities. Cities with population more than 5 million are called as mega cities. Majority of metropolitan cities are mega cities, and they are urban agglomerations. In fact, it is an extended city or town area comprising a built-up area of a central place. It includes the suburbs also, which are linked with the continuous urbanized areas. The term urban agglomeration is also linked to the conurbation, as 2 or more contiguous towns are connected by continuous development. Contiguous towns shares a common border, which means one town touches the boundary of the other town. In the given pie chart, it is shown that out of total urban population, more than 60% is residing in class 1 towns. In addition to that, about 90% of total urban population is residing in class 1, 2 and 3 towns jointly. Friends, here we have a map of metropolitan cities in India. We can see, as per the size of population, Greater Mumbai is the largest city in India. Earlier we have discussed mega cities with more than 5 million population are 6 in total. They are located and labeled in this map of India with bigger circles, namely Greater Mumbai, Kolkata, Delhi, Chennai, Bengaluru and Hyderabad. We have seen 35 metropolitan or million plus cities in the map just now as per 2001 census, which increased to 53 million plus cities in 2011 census. About 1/5 of the total urban population is living in the 6 mega cities of India. Friends, towns and cities perform specialized functions. However, each town or city provides a number of services on the basis of specialized functions or dominant services. Cities and towns are functionally classified into several categories. First of all, we'll talk about administrative towns and cities. The towns which support administrative headquarters of higher order are famous as administrative towns. Chandigarh, New Delhi, Imphal, Gandhinagar are few examples of such towns. In fact, most of them are capitals of state or headquarters of union territories. The cities where industries are set up in a large number and industries become prime motive force of these cities are famous as industrial towns, such as Mumbai, Salem, Coimbatore, Jamshedpur, and Bhilai, etc. Then comes transport towns, which may be ports like Kandla, Kochi, or Vishakhapatnam, which are mainly engaged in the international trade, export, and import activities. These transport towns may be hubs of inland transport also, such as Agra, Mughalsarai, and Itarsi, etc. Now, friends, another category is there of commercial towns. Towns and cities which specialize in trade and commerce, market centers, large inland centers, large banking and financial centers are the examples of trading and commercial towns, such as Kolkata, Mumbai, Saharanpur, Ludhiana, Satna, etc. Now we can talk about mining towns. They have developed in mineral rich areas. Several cities like Raniganj and Jharia are rich in coal deposits. Digboi and Ankleshwar are rich in oil deposits. All such towns fall in the category of mining towns. Now let us talk about garrison towns. The towns which have a military base nearby, such as Ambala, Jalandhar, or Udhampur, are falling in the category of garrison cantonment towns. Several towns have started as the centers of education. Later they grow as campus of education. Varanasi, Aligarh, Allahabad, Roorkee, Pilani can be taken as the examples of such educational towns. Friends, in our country, several towns have become famous due to their religious and cultural significance. They are referred as religious and cultural towns, such as Ajmer, Pushkar, Ujjain, Amritsar, Varanasi, Haridwar, Tirupati, and so on. Several towns are known as tourist destinations. They attract millions of tourists every year. We can take many examples: Nainital, Shimla, Dalhousie, Ranikhet, Almora, Udamandalam or Ooty, etc. Friends, I wish all the viewers are benefited with today's discussion.